Hey everyone, I'm Jim Lee and welcome to the Jimmy in the Wild channel. Today we're going to be fishing a few high plains creeks near Casper, Wyoming. We're going to be fishing Deer Creek, Curry Creek, and Soldier Creek. So when you go fishing in Wyoming, the journey to get to where you're going to go fish is a bonus adventure that comes with a few extra surprises. Here's something you see a lot of in Wyoming, sage grouse, otherwise known as sage chickens. I found this little bull snake in the middle of the road, so I stopped to help him out of the road. Here's a great early morning view looking out over the old Shirley Basin uranium mine. This thing opened in 1961 and then it closed in 1992. Kind of have to creep up on them before they even move. Come on, guys. So the first place I stopped to fish was the upper end of Deer Creek. This part of Deer Creek sits at about 7,500 feet in elevation. It doesn't have much flow most of the year, but this year's been wetter and cooler than normal, so it's very lush and green around the creek. I'll fish Deer Creek for about a mile until Curry Creek comes into Deer Creek, then I'll fish Curry Creek. So Curry Creek flows into Deer Creek at the upper end of this valley. You can kind of see it in the drone shot. This is what we're using. Using a number 6 Gold Panther Martin. If you notice the camo gloves I'm wearing, these really help to keep from getting bitten by horse flies and deer flies. The first fish of the day ended up being a brook trout about 10 inches. I've learned a few tricks to using the spinning reel on such a small creek, so holding the line with my left hand seems to give me a little bit more control over where the lure goes when I finish my cast. Here's another fish, another brook trout. One of the most important things to releasing a fish is to get it back in the water as quickly as possible, so I was just tossing them back in the creek. Here's a nice little fish. Little tiny brown. There you go, first brown of the day, little guy. Oh, back in the water with you. I'll show you what it looks like. That's a brown trout, German brown. Beautiful fish. Let's get it back in the water. Eventually I hit a few beaver dams. This is where the fishing gets good. You have more water, more cover, and more forage for the fish. Something. Looks like a brookie. There he is. Alright, into the water with you, buddy. Another good release. Leopard frog. I kept running across leopard frogs. They were everywhere in the grass. Finally, I came to one that I could actually catch. That guy. There you go, buddy. Off with you. For a long cast up against this bank. Shallow. Big one. Nice. These are the kind that you bring home to dinner. 12, 13 inches. That is a beautiful fish. Look at that brook trout. Gorgeous fish. I'm gonna let this guy go. He's run out for meat today. Bye, buddy. In this shot, notice the two little snakes swimming across the water. There were so many snakes out here, they were everywhere in the rocks and the grass. Thank goodness they were only garter snakes.
I'll cut another little brookie off camera here. Gotta get him back in the water. Little guy. 7-ish inches, maybe 6.5. Back in the water with you. Oh, there we go, another little brookie. Another 6-incher maybe. Maybe just slightly smaller as a dinker. Even little ones, very, very pretty. The little guys always manage to take all 3 hooks.
Notice how easily I get the fish off the treble hook. That's because I've got 2 of the barbs clipped back and they can come right off.
Perfect fish, back in the water with you.
Here's a shot of a brown trout that I caught. My head cam had just shut off before I caught him, but at least I got a shot of him before I let him go. Nearly every pool in the creek held a fish. Sometimes they were browns, sometimes they were brookies. This time it was a brown. A few minutes later, I caught a brook trout out of the same pool. After a couple hours of fishing Deer Creek and Curry Creek, I headed back to the truck. This is the last pool, and it was one more brown trout. Once I got back to the truck, I headed down the road towards where Soldier Creek comes into Deer Creek. Here's some drone footage of Soldier Creek. Very nice creek with no trees around. The best way to catch fish in Soldier Creek is with flies or worms, but I'm using spinners today, so I have to make long casts so the fish don't see me. During the entire hike up Soldier Creek, which is about a quarter mile, I only got 2 fish on tape and they ended up both getting off. Here's a little drone footage of Deer Creek and the confluence of Soldier Creek. I almost caught a big fish right at the confluence of Soldier Creek, but you'll see that in just a second. Just before I caught the big fish from Soldier Creek, he came out from under the bank, hit the lure, then he went back under the bank. It's a little tough to see him in the slow motion video, but you can kind of see a dark shape move towards the lure, hit the lure, then move back towards the bank.
There we go. Nice. Oh, he's not that big. Maybe 12 inches. But look at that guy. All right, buddy. Little 12-incher. Perfect fish.
Here's some drone footage of the lower end of Deer Creek. This is about as far as I went today. By the time I hit the section to Deer Creek, there were so many deer flies and it was so hot outside I just didn't spend much time down here. This section of Deer Creek had pretty much the same mix of fish: brown trout, brook trout, and the occasional rainbow trout. But I didn't catch one rainbow trout today. I also found several large swarms of butterflies along the creek.
Got another nice big brookie, a little off camera. This guy's not huge, 10 inches. Got a nip in his tail. Very pretty fish. I'm gonna let him go. Ooh. Nice one. Is that a brookie? Big old fat brookie. All right. No, it's a brown. Sorry. Called it in the air, and it's just a little brown. 10 and a half, maybe 11 inches. Pretty fish. Get it back in the water.
Once I was done fishing downstream of the truck, I went ahead and fished upstream of the truck, and here's some drone footage of that section of creek.
On the last leg of the trip, we are going to go upstream from where Soldier Creek flows into Deer Creek. Got something. It's a tugger. Must be a brown. Oh, it's a big. Yeah, it's a big brown. Not big. Average. Average 10, 12 incher. Beautiful fish. Back in that creek he goes. I'll even put you back in your hole.
Here's a little drone footage of a small creek that flows into Deer Creek. I'm not sure of its name, but it always has a ton of fish by it.
There we go. It's like a little brookie. Fighter. There she is. And tiny brookie again. Tinier this time. He only took one hook. Little brookie. It's a fighter. Oh, he's in the weeds. Little brookie. Oh, self-release. There we go. Just a little guy. Little brook trout. Could be wrong. Is it a brookie or is it a brown? It is a brookie. Little chubby, stubby one. There's a little fat guy. A little male. Pretty. Oh, there we go. Little tiny guy. It's like a sardine-sized brook trout. This is the smallest fish of the day for sure. And as I said before, the smallest guys always take all 3 hooks. What the heck are you thinking, buddy? You're never gonna bite a hook again, are you?
It just so happened that the smallest fish of the day was also the last fish of the day. After that fish, I headed back to the truck and drove myself home. Thanks for joining me on my trip today. If you liked this video, go ahead and give it a thumbs up and please subscribe. Till next time, see you later.